beautiful day in Springhelm. It's an important day, too. Today is the day of the Returning Festival. Today, people all across Trefos have been preparing to celebrate the day when the people of this world were able to return to their homes. Much was changed in the war between the gods, but in the generations since the people have returned, there has been no sign of history repeating itself. In fact, some of the minor gods who survived have started to awaken. Many of the towns have their own celebrations according to their traditions, shaped by the path their ancestors took and the gods they found in generations since. As Springhelm was used as a waypoint to help refugees escape the war, part of their tradition is to retrace that journey and spend the night as their ancestors did. Some years everyone goes, other years it's only a few, and every year the orcs of the Philomena tribe step in to help keep the town and the path secure during the celebration. They also found a much quicker, if slightly less direct route to get to the underground caverns, so they lead the way, which is why the journey now takes less time than it used to in previous years. Things have been a little different this year, though, as rumors have been spreading for months now of a man leading an army, occupying towns and destroying any and all temple records. And this isn't a place where armies are only things in stories. Such thing has not been seen since the war ended. I mean, you've had militaries and militia to deal with monsters and so forth, but nothing like this. It has many people on edge, but the last reports say that they are far from here, and Springhelm is a rather out-of-the-way place, so the leaders of the town are not overly worried. That's not to say they're ignoring the shadows gathering on the horizon, though. This year's festival preparations have included clearing out the caverns and preparing them for the possibility of needing to hold refugees once more. More will be taken in during the ceremony itself, and a few from the town have even volunteered to move in and begin scouting out some of the tunnels. This morning, though, there are more pressing concerns. The camera zooms in on Philomena and Foster as they sleep in a little later than intended. And Foster, I would like you to roll me a d20 to see if you have any interesting dreams to start this story.
Let me get up the dice roller, because I only have d10s at my desk right now, not a d20.
All of the vampire.
All of the vampire. It's great. It's fun. I got a 9.
Okay. So that is a tough choice. Do you want to have a dream that's more detailed, but about something in the distant future? Or would you like a vaguer dream about a minor threat that is going to be happening sooner rather than later?
Knowing where this is going to go, I feel vaguer is probably better.
As you're dreaming, some of your dreams are inconsequential and weird, barely weird as some dreams are, but there's a part that sticks out to you. It's like you're seeing the dream from the viewpoint of a creature stalking something in the woods. It's hungry and perhaps a little more hostile. And it seems to be following a group. And then both of you wake up realizing you slept a little bit later than you meant to, and you have a lot of things to do today. You have to make sure everything is in order for the journey, and you each will have your part to play in the festivities, but first, you need to actually get up and get ready.
This is probably what the last dream sequence Foster has before they wake up, yeah?
Yeah. You wake up right as the creature lunges at something, and then you wake.
Yeah, it's probably that involuntary and just buries head back in Philomena's shoulder. Don't want to.
The bustle outside in the hallway is a little louder than it usually is. This might be when you start realizing what day today is.
Fast. Horn.
Just moves head aside so horns aren't sticking Phil, and just forehead with horns outward, and just, I don't want to. Can't someone else?
Why is it loud?
Returning day.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
Sit up, and I pull my pillow and I smack you with it.
Ow!
We've got
Just
stuff
flops
to
on
do.
the bed. I'm up.
Are you?
Yes, I'm up. Hands are like up. Thought it was customary to wake your wife with kisses, not pillows.
Or horns, love.
Fair.
It's also not when you're running late.
Yeah. Foss will stretch, like sit up, stretch, wings fully. It's about a good 8-foot wingspan, but almost touching the walls when she does this and does that shake.
I poke you in the side where I know you're ticklish.
You've done the wing stretch enough that Philomena knows how to avoid the wings.
Just slightly raises one up higher so it doesn't hit Philomena.
Duck and cover, duck and cover.
Scrubs at her face. How many groups are there today, by the way?
Some of the town has gone ahead along with people from the Philomena tribe to help protect if there's any nasties in the woods. But this time pretty much everyone is going. And the Philomena will be basically moving into the town to keep everything safe until everyone gets back, as they usually do.
Everyone's going, so maybe 4 or 5? I mean, it depends on the size they choose for groups.
Right, I need to find a way to tell people to be careful. Woods, nasty thing, no.
Dream?
As usual.
Fun.
We really need to find a better adjective for that.
They're dreams. They are sarcastically fun.
Yes, I am aware. Crack their neck. Leans down, she gives Philomena a quick peck and goes to get dressed.
So, the parts you will be playing, this might have been positions that you took in the past as well, because since Springhelm was used to help shepherd refugees, they had at least 2 mountain peaks. Well, mountain may be a strong word for it, but there's one that's closer to the town and one that's a little closer to where the caverns are. The one out front, you have a good view of the surrounding lands. It is the Lookout Mountain. And you can signal back to whoever's on the second mountain to send a signal flare up if something is coming. It's more of a traditional role than anything, but given things that are going on, it's taking a little more seriously this time. So I believe Foster, you are going to be the lookout while Philomena is going to be on Signal Mountain. The children are going to be being led by, there are other people who also, it's kind of like a hierarchy of people in the orphanage, so it's not just the 2 of you in charge of everything, you're just in charge of everything. So there will be other adults who will be making sure the kids all stay on track, and they have a couple extra guards, because sometimes kids are sneaky, other times, they look bite-sized.
Yeah, it's not like we ever did that as children. What? Children sneaking out? No.
Unheard of.
There's usually at least 2 or 3 orcs with each group of kids in the woods, almost invisible, until one of the kids sneaks off and then just points back to the group.
It's like little Aussie, the little Australian shepherds.
Always getting into the one thing that they're not supposed to get into.
Yes. Just the kid sneaks off, orc comes back, child on shoulder, plop, back into the woods.
Yeah. The Philomena are a pretty big tribe, and so they've always been... They assist with the ceremonies, even though it isn't... They have their own ways of celebrating and their own traditions, but it's kind of merged with the 2. Because the Philomena and the people of Springhelm have a very symbiotic relationship, even though they don't always fully understand what the other's doing. They're good neighbors. So how do you all go about getting ready?
So Foster gets dressed. They put on just a kind of very simple, almost scholar-like robe, some dark pants without any shoes, because little tippy-tappy talon feet don't fit in shoes. And then like a dark blue tunic with like a little vest over it with holes cut out for the wings. Braids their hair up in like the multiple kind of braids with like a one single one going down the back, clearly adopted from her cousins, as she calls the Philomena tribe, because they're technically family in a way.
Yeah, they've always treated you like family.
Yeah. And just puts on, her wedding ring and the wedding necklace, and because it's a holiday, puts a few little flowers in their hair just to, brighten it up a little.
Phil puts on a slightly nicer version of her everyday clothes, which basically is a tunic, and probably in a similar color to Foster's, like a leather, it's mostly symbolic, but the leather breastplate.
Good quality leather armor.
Yeah. Tunic and trousers, and the sword and shield that Foster made her, and of course, the ring and necklace as well.
Yeah, do y'all talk about anything? Or like, how do you picture that morning going before you go to take up your positions?
I feel like there's little domestic moments, like Foster going behind and helping, like, buckle the back of the breastplate, or, like, Philomena adjusting, like, the back of Foster's vest because it's caught on the wings and Foster can't quite reach it, and, just little things like that.
Helping position flowers.
Kind of how I picture clothing that's designed for wings is the holes are bigger than they need to be when they're on, but that's just so it's easier to get to the wings through, and then there's like snaps or buttons that you can use to cinch them a little closer, so it's not as flappy but still comfortable.
Yeah, it's just sometimes your wings get caught, just like you're putting your arm through and it don't go through the right way.
Yeah, or like when you're putting a sweater on and realize you forgot to unbutton it, so you're just sitting there with the sweater stuck in your head, unbuttoning it.
Phil.
What did you do?
The sweater's caught again.
You didn't unbutton it, genius.
Help.
I'm coming.
Kafunk as she trips.
Who trips?
Foster.
Good.
Oh, Foss, I said I was coming. You didn't need to move.
Help.
Sometimes you have a disagreement with the way gravity is supposed to work and you lose your balance standing still. It's a thing.
Okay, just sit tight, okay? Just... Foss.
I'm on the floor. I can't go anywhere.
Foss, my love.
Philomena, my darling.
How in the world did you manage to button them across each other?
That is a very good question.
She was probably reading while she was folding laundry again.
Yeah.
It's not too uncommon of a thing with Foster.
Stop multitasking. You just do both of them poorly.
But the book was good.
Then finish the book first and have me do the laundry, or do the laundry and read afterwards.
Yes, dear.
And once you've all gotten yourself situated, you go and join everyone for breakfast. There is an air of tension that's mostly, double-checking everything, and, sometimes unexpected things happen. Is everything prepared? But also people are nervous because of all the rumors that have been spreading. And there's probably been, at this point, like, one or two people who've come from far away, like, bringing word that something is coming. Not coming soon, mind you, but it is coming. There's a lot of people trying to keep the kids from freaking out too much about it.
Oh, that's not concerning, but after the festival, we'll worry about that. We've got to make sure everybody gets there safe and nobody hurts and what have you.
You haven't had any dreams about this, right?
No. You may have had very vague, slightly foreboding dreams, but sometimes those just happen. You haven't had any dreams to do with whatever may be coming. Maybe because I kind of imagine your dreams kind of start happening when it's like a couple of months out or something. Like there's almost like a time limit of like how far ahead some of these dreams come. But you haven't had any dreams that, well, at least that you think are related to whatever's about to happen.
Other than the woods.
Yeah, but that's just a small, vague thing to keep an eye out for today. Nothing about armies marching or anything like that.
Yeah, she just sighs. Well, I haven't seen anything about armies in my dreams, so probably safe for a little while to get a plan into place. Right now, I'm just more concerned about making sure Bartholomew, do not climb that tree, or I swear to the gods, you will be tied to a bench.
Kid slowly sidesteps away from the tree.
That was probably a little mean.
No. If he tears another tunic, Sammy's going to have his head.
It's gotten about to the point where it's ridiculous how many tunics you've had to repair for this kid.
Foster just sighs. We should probably, now that we're out in the courtyard, go find the people we're supposed to talk to and what have you. And start getting this ready.
Ugh, responsibility.
Yes, that thing we can't escape, love. I'm sorry.
Alright.
You could have if you hadn't found that library, but you're kind of stuck now. Not that you actually minded, I don't think.
No.
You just act like you do.
Okay. Is it separate people we need to talk to?
I think so, because you're playing lead, I'm scout, so...
Alright. Divide and conquer. I'll see you later.
See you later. Love you. Mwah.
Also checking in to make sure all of the, group leaders for the kids are there and everything's in order. This isn't their first rodeo. But it's always good to double check.
Always.
There is a lot of hustle and bustle going around, and so where are y'all going? Because if you want to stop and do things before you go to the different mountaintops, you probably each got a group of like 3 or 4 people that will be traveling with you. A ceremonial thing, but safety in numbers.
I think Foss would, start kind of making her way to the very, if they're dividing and conquering, probably take 2 of the kids' group leaders and just kind of pull them aside and just double check, okay, you've got everything you need, bandages, water, trail makes.
Toys.
Yeah. Slings for the littlest ones, because after a while they're going to get tired.
Do you know which guard's going to be traveling with you? Do you know where you're going to be meeting your mom scout group?
Exactly. Yeah, no, she makes sure they have all their stuff, got the names of the scouts they're meeting with, and then probably just double check the library and everything's locked up before they leave.
At this point, there have been plenty of markings left, so people that aren't you know how to get to the library, and some people have memorized it, but you've also put lots of added protections in front of it. Better safe than sorry. And it's also hard to get to if it's not you. What if, the markers to show how to get there are things that can be removed, and you've taken them all down, just in case?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so she just has probably a little bag, and she's just stuffing them in the bag as she goes along, and just pluck with their hands and into the bag, and pluck, 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 pluck.
Like little magic magnets that you, like, stuck to corners with little arrows on them.
Exactly, but fantasy.
Well, that's why I said magic.
Oh.
Magic magnets.
I thought those were a type of magnets.
You know, they probably are, so fair.
It's the real big boys that don't come off even if you... That is something I am making up, by the way. That's not real.
You've also put a bunch of heavy stuff, like boxes full of the equivalent of immovable rods that are all activated in front of the door. Better paranoid than wrong. And Philomena, are you also checking in on your group, going to talk to anybody? I say your group, like the other groups of...
The other groups?
Yeah.
I have a checklist, like, you got this, you got this, you got this, and make sure Eliza has her stuffed animal, otherwise she will cry the entire way there.
See, she has both that stuffed animal and they have a backup just in case.
Okay.
Always have a backup bunny.
Okay, it looks good. Boss is getting the library squared away. There's something else I needed to do this morning. Can't think of anything, but probably as soon as we leave, there'll be something that pops up. Always is.
Well, you gotta check with the group that you're going to be traveling with to make sure they have all of their stuff, too. Because you gotta have all the signal powders and, you know, make sure you get them all. Because sometimes you forget them and then you use the wrong color and it just gets really confusing. There was, like, this whole debacle 2 years ago that wasn't you, but that person still hasn't lived it down. They still get teased.
Dodged that bullet. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, you were gonna do it, but you, like, got sick. You weren't feeling well, so you had to stay home.
Okay. I'm gonna check my pack first. Make sure I have everything I need.
Water, snacks, maps, knives, bandages.
Yeah.
Another knife.
Don't need that many knives. All my stuff. Okay, once I have everything in my pack squared away and checked off, then I'm going to go gather the troops.
Do you want to describe the group that you are with, or do you want me to make them up? Like, who are you traveling with?
Both of us are just Casey.
Well, if you have ideas for your group.
I think for Foss's, because she's doing the scout, it's more a couple of, like, game hunters. Like, there's a gentleman of, like, elven descent who's there. Another, like, a half-orc that lives in town. They also are joining. And then a dwarven woman who is, surprisingly, didn't want to stay in the mines and was like, I like the outside, you all. Outside's great.
Yeah, just because you're a dwarf doesn't mean you like mining. There are dwarfs that like all kinds of things.
This is true. I should not play into the fantasy stereotype.
It's just they tend to be hardier. And they can fit in smaller spaces. Sometimes.
I have a couple of ideas, since I am the... What was my role again?
You're gonna be on the Signal Mountain, while Foster is on Lookout Mountain. They probably have other names too, but that's what it translates to.
So I need people who are competent. So I have with me the person who owns the tavern, because they're a business owner, head miner, and the local pharmacist.
They know how to handle the stuff that you may or may not need to be tossing into the fire, and how to not accidentally cause weird reactions. And you've also got a couple of orcs traveling with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Guess once you get your groups, do you go ahead and set out?
Foss probably before they leave, like, flies over to where Phil's group is, just comes over. Quick little kiss up for luck, not that you need it.
Bye. Do good.
Love you too. Whoosh! Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah, you can't fly the whole way, though, because you will leave your group behind, and also flying up to the top of the mountain's exhausting.
Oh no, it was just flying over to where Phil's group and then going back to, because sometimes it's just easier to fly than walk.
Yeah, and you're about to be doing a lot of walking, but the good news is if it's really hot and sunny, wings just go whoop up for shape.
Exactly.
It's also helpful when it's rainy. But that just gets vaguely uncomfortable.
Like the beginning of Good Omens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get in position.
It's a bit of a trek. Got, good hour or so at least to walk through the woods, but as I said, you have Philomena scouts with you who know the way. They know these woods very well because the woods are their home. So, give me a d20 roll to see how this trip goes.
Okay, we are rolling.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
What did you get?
I got a 4.
Oh no.
That was an actual roll and not just dropping off my hand. 18.
Okay, so Philomena, your group encounters no issues. It's a bit of a like I said, it's about an hour or so walk. It doesn't take any longer than it normally would. You're able to get there and start getting set up. It's also a nice day, not too hot. But, Foster, what are you distracted by as you're walking through the woods?
Honestly, it's probably still that dream. It was very vague, so she's just trying, like, as she's walking, not really looking, just trying to piece it together and, like, taking a look. It's like, okay, is it this patch of grass or is it this one? Did I get a glimpse of it in, like, a water, in, like, a puddle? I'm just, like, not thinking clearly. Just like, do, clunk into a tree.
I'm gonna say, like, you were supposed to be the one leading the way. Everyone's following you, and so you get lost. You're so busy trying to see if you can figure out, like, is this creature going to be attacking me or someone else, or, like, is it even going to be happening today, or I don't know, that you eventually realize, wait, this isn't where I'm supposed to be, I don't know where I am. And then something launches itself out of you from behind a bush in the woods, and you get knocked down and pinned to the ground by a wolf and take 1 point of damage.
Yee.
So it's pretty big wolf. But what's weird is, like, the fur doesn't look like fur. It's kind of sharp and, like, almost, like, metallic or more like quills. And the teeth seem to shine with a sort of silver sheen. And snarling in your face. And what do you do?
Oh, okay. Let me check my actions that I can do here. Probably takes the dagger that Philomena insists she's carrying and poke.
Give me the roll.
12.
Okay, so a 12 is a success. How much damage does this do?
I think it only does, like, 1 damage unless you do, like, a special ability, and then that's where the extra...
That makes sense. So you get a good stab in, and it snarls and kind of shimmies back a little bit and shifts off of you, so you could probably push it off you, but it does still have you partially pinned.
Yeah, no, she's gonna take her little, talon foot and just kick it up back even more. Like, get off.
Kick it off and it just snarls and crouches low to the ground. Do you continue attacking, or?
With that kick, she's going to use it to channel Corrupt, which creates a necrorizing wound. So the wound turns black-green and branches out from where you touch them. The spell hits for 1 HP immediately, and then again at the beginning of the target's next turn for another point.
Ow. Wait, hang on. Are we sure there's no roll for that?
It doesn't say roll the dice.
there's some wild stuff you can do in this game.
I'll take it. An automatic hit. I'll take it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Wow.
I take it no one else is helping. They're just staring like, what the fuck?
So, when your foot hit it, that's where the magic came through, and it doesn't notice at first the damage you dealt to it, and then everyone else can see the black and the green spreading across where you kicked it, and it just slinks off into the woods. And everyone's kind of looking to you like, do you want us to go after it, or...
Foster just kind of notices a tear in their, like, vest and sighs. Philomena's going to kill me.
So just letting it go?
Yeah, if it's not, she'll just kind of let them... if it's not going to come back, which I don't think it is, it ran off, so... I'm just gonna call it a win.
Alright, give me a roll to see if you can get back on track where you're supposed to be going.
20!
Alright. So, not only are you able to find the path, it looks like you actually may have found a shortcut. I mean, a wolf may live there, but you get there faster than anticipated, and you are on top of this mountain with just a view. Would it be more interesting if this is your first time up here, or if you've been up here before?
I think... because this is a ritual that's gone on for a while, Foster's done this before, but each time it feels like it's new because it's just the fact that you can see the whole valley spread out takes your breath away each time.
It's a beautiful day, like blue sky, a couple fluffy white clouds. You can see down into Springhelm, which looks kind of small now, but you can see the bustle of activity as people are getting ready to go. They travel in large groups in little caravans almost. They're just one at a time, but it makes logistical sense to do that. And you can look and see the mountain that Philomena's on. You can't see her specifically. You can probably see like little figures, but it's hard to actually no, it wouldn't be hard to tell which one's her. She's the shortest of the group.
Like, you would rethink that one, babes?
That speck's my wife! See that speck right at someone else's knees? That's my wife! Which one of the other hunters probably goes, she knows that she can't see them, right?
But what do you think the signal from the Lookout Mountain to Signal Mountain, what do you think that looks like?
It would have to be visible. I would say it is... I like kind of combining the idea of a flag and a fire signal. So like it's a brazier that's put there that you can fill up, but as it's filling up, it raises this like iridescent sort of hot air balloon that just sort of stays there, and it kind of like catches the sunlight and reflects, so that way it bounces off almost like a mirror.
Oh, I like that, because it'd be visible, but it might even be slightly visible from the entrance to the caverns, but it's definitely visible from the top of Signal Mountain. Which, Philomena, you can see Foster. You can both vaguely see each other. Foster's the one with wings. Not that hard to spot.
Huh. They got there faster than expected.
Which is impressive, because they got very lost.
Now that Philomena needs to know.
Nah. So you settle in for what could be a very long and eventful day, and already all past the time.
Probably Foster has a book that she took from the library and is just sitting there translating it.
Yeah.
And just making small talk with the others, like offering her opinion. Like, she's not the most outdoorsy person, but she knows how to hunt, you know? Basic survival skills.
Yeah. You've got, like, decent enough survival skills. Because Philomena made you.
Yeah. Basically. And just sits there translating and just every now and again looks over at the other mountain and is like, I miss my wife.
It's a long, boring day, but you do have friendly conversation with the other people, and you like sharing stories, you know, telling jokes, and then lapses of silence. Someone might start singing at some point. trying to remember to keep an eye out on the horizon.
I actually brought a pack of cards. And so we all play card games.
Is this like just for fun card games? Is there gambling going on?
Oh, there's no gambling going on. We're just passing time.
Just roll me a 20 to see how many of these games you win.
Oh dear. That is a 14.
You don't win all of them, but you win quite a few. The other people aren't losing enough to where they get bored and want to give up with it. Just, getting your ass kicked multiple games in a row is not fun. But you definitely win more than the others, and eventually some people might kind of just get bored and wander off and do something else, or... So, a couple of hours have passed. You've watched as most of Springhelm is on its way on the route. Pretty much everyone's at least out of the town, aside from the Philomena who have moved in to keep an eye on things. The caravans are slowly making their way through the main route. And Foster, odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay, got a 13. So, being on the Lookout Mountain, you were given a spyglass that's been kind of passed around to keep an eye on things. The sun is starting to go down. You still have a couple of hours from sundown, and you're scanning the horizon when you notice something. You start focusing in on the spyglass, and you see something that at first doesn't make sense. It looks like there's this big group of people, like a whole city's worth, coming this way, and why would there be that many people traveling? And then you remember all those rumors that have been spreading, and you focus in, and you realize you were looking at an army on the horizon. It'll take at least a day for them to get there, but there is an army on the horizon. What do you do?
Oh, that's no good. She warns the others. I am flying over to the other mountain. There is an army on the way. Try and use whatever means you can let people know to get safe into the caves, and whoop, starts booking it over to the other mountain.
I don't know if you have the strength to fly to the other mountain.
Gonna try.
As you turn to look at the other mountain, you see that the signal has already been lit. There's a huge plume of smoke coming from the brazier.
Okay, cool. Don't forget to light the beacon, and she's gonna try and find Philomena. I don't know if they'll meet halfway. We'll figure it out.
I can't fly.
Roll me a 20, Foster, as you try and fly to Philomena.
2, I do not. I get probably about a foot and conk.
So you fly off of the edge, and you start flying along the treetops, when you hear a whistling sound, and an arrow clips one of your wings, and you fall to the ground.
Oh, ow, ow. Probably lets out a scream.
DM question before I accidentally kill you. How many hit points do you have?
I think we have 10.
10
So-
total, but then
okay.
I think you got one from the wolf.
Yeah, so I'm at 9, so 8.
I'll say you take 5, because you also fell. You got shot through the wing and you fell from a pretty good height. You'll potentially be able to walk and move, but it's going to take you a while to get to the mountain.
Got it, so I was at 9 minus... Okay, so she's at 4. There is an unholy scream. And just as she just plops through, hits branches all the way down, and just lands in a crumple. Doesn't move for a good 5 minutes, just groaning.
One of the Philomena scouts comes up to you and says, "What's wrong? What is it? Are you alright?" And starts, checking to make sure nothing is broken.
Ow, ow. That's fine. Ow. There's an army on the way. Please start warning everyone.
They have a method of signaling and communicating in the woods, so he starts giving off the warning signal. We're going to shift the camera away from where Foster's trying to get to the other mountain. And we're gonna go back in time a few minutes, because Philomena, you've also been having a mostly uneventful day. A couple different card games, someone's been telling stories and singing songs, and someone's probably telling a story of that great protector who would come down from the mountain in Springhelm's time of greatest need, and someone spots something. There's an air of unease that comes over the camp, and you look and you see there are these 3 figures that have stepped out of the woods into the clearing. 2 are taller, possibly elven. They have helmets on, but there's like a shape to the side that's typically an elven armor for the ears. And they're wearing armor that seems to be absorbing the light around them, and in between them is human ? Helmeted figure. He takes his helmet off, looks rather average. And what do you do? There has been no signal from the Lookout Mountain at all at this point.
Hail and well met, strangers. I'm afraid you've caught us at an interesting time. We're celebrating the Returning Festival currently, so I'm afraid our normal hospitality is a bit, weakened. But what can we do for you?
I hear that this little town has a temple, and while it's been emptied out, I was wondering if perhaps here I could find one of the ones who leads it. Would you be able to help me? This is the man in the center speaking. The 2 to the side of him are just standing there silently.
I could, depending on what you need them for. These are dangerous times to have a temple. Must make sure that our people are protected, you understand?
And that's what I'm trying to do. You see what the gods almost did to this world once before. I come seeking to help. Surely you would understand that.
In full armor.
As you said, this world's dangerous. And he has that smile as he says it.
I said it was dangerous for a temple. There's a man about who's ransacking them. So I hear.
Interesting how rumors spread. At this point you noticed. You catch the sight out of the corner of your eye. It looks like there might be other figures that are not the Philomena starting to step out of the woods. I come only seeking the records. I care not for anything else.
Records.
It would be beneficial for everyone if you helped me in this endeavor.
And what will you do with them? Phil has shifted into a different stance. She has her hands behind her back and is kind of trying to catch the attention of the 3 with her to see if she can signal them light the fire. Put up the signal.
Roll me a 20.
Shit. Catastrophe.
Oh! You try and signal, and you hear this terrible sound from behind you. Someone crying out in shock and pain and then a struggle. Do you look back to see what happened?
Yes, but only a glance. Not fully taking my periphery away from the guy in front of me.
So you glance over your shoulder, not fully looking away from this individual. And you see more soldiers have come out and they've grabbed your friends, and the pharmacist tried to dump something into the flame, but they couldn't quite get to it. And the man in front of you just smiles. You think you're clever, it's so adorable. Trust me, it's better for everyone if you just give me what I want and let me be on my way.
No. And then I turn and I dump it in the fire. As if I can.
Give me another 20.
Please give me something better. Oh,
That's my wife.
that hit the corner of my book. 8.
Can you, spend an AP to make something succeed? Is that a thing?
I feel like it should be a thing.
I will say, if you want to spend two AP to have it work, because an 8 would be a failure, but if you're willing to spend 2 AP, I will let it work.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that.
So what does it look like?
I spin fully away from the man, and I run over to the dropped powder, and I actually kick it into the fire.
What color is it?
Pitch black.
You kick this whole bag of dust into the fire, and it just immediately thick black plumes of smoke that can... Hell, even the army can see it. Everyone is going to see this signal, so everyone who is looking knows to leave. And Foster, this is probably around when you look back and you see there are more figures on that mountain than there should be in this huge, foreboding column of black smoke. And Philomena, when you turn around, he looks irritated.
That temple is nothing but home to orphans. I will not have you disrupting their safety. Leave.
I have no intention of leaving until I've done what I've come here to do. And what exactly do you think you can do to stop me? I mean, this points to smoke. My army is already coming. Help will not get here in time. You hear the sound of Foster screaming as she gets shot out of the sky and falls to the ground.
I pull the sword and shield. What do I think I can do? I don't know. But whatever I can, I will.
Oh, you think you can challenge me?
That's the way this seems to be going, doesn't it? You want something and I won't let you have it.
So I beat you, I get what I want. You beat me, I go on my way? Is that how this works?
That depends. Are you an honorable man?
I've been called many things, and honestly, this sounds rather entertaining. Gestures for his men to stand back, and they do, but you get the feeling that the other people in the clearing are still being held by at least one guard. And from where you are, you can see the train of caravans going towards the entrance to the caverns. And you also see a little plume of smoke coming up from near the entrances, them letting you know that they see and they are ready to seal the doors once everyone's inside. You may not be able to beat him, but you can buy time. We pan back to Foster as she is being helped by this scout, because imagine you aren't going to stop trying to get to the mountain, and they're not about to let you do that on your own because you are hurt.
Yeah, she's helped up. She places her clawed hand on her chest, like probably over, I imagine there's like a cut across her clavicle from on the way down, and I'm going to spend 1 AP to use Mend. Brings me down to 9, and I can restore 5 immediately restoring 5 HP and mending minor wounds like cuts and bruises. So it's not going to heal up the wing, or, you know, I imagine like her shoulder is slightly dislocated, but it's at least enough to move without help.
Yeah, you won't be able to fly. It still hurts, but you are able to move. I still don't think a scout's gonna let you wander through the woods alone.
Probably not, but she's getting to the mountain. There's something going on. It's black. Philomena's in trouble. Let's go. And just starts trying to book it as much as you can while still, ow.
Roll me a 20.
Oh, of course, roll me a 20. 16!
I mean, you're not going to make it all the way there, but you are able to make it down the side of the mountain you're on without encountering any issues. You hear the call that the scout gave out echoing around the woods. If you didn't know what it was, you probably wouldn't notice it. But since you heard him start the call, which is like a whistle, it kind of sounds like a bird call, you can hear it echoing. And you know the fear bomber. Really good at being invisible in the woods when they want to be. Because I'm all about the stealth orcs.
Oh, yeah.
You have made it down your mountain. You still have a ways to go. Casey, have you figured out what your magic word is going to be? Your divine word.
No, Google has failed me. Can I instead describe it, and as soon as I think of something, I'll let you know?
Yeah.
So I speak the word of power, and my sword lights with a bright green fire.
I had thought, what if the word of power is in the language that only you and Foster could understand?
Yeah, that was my thought.
The word just comes out. This might also be the first time that you've done this before. So it just comes out.
Yeah.
So your sword is on fire. This man has his sword drawn. He's stepped away from his soldiers who have stepped back, seemingly content to watch. He set his helmet on the ground. It's not going to put it back on for this fight. Do you attack first?
No, I'm going to assume a mostly defensive position for the moment and see if I can't goad him first.
Just a little for how this is going to work. For every round, and like every time it circles back to your turn, either a caravan will have escaped, someone important or someone in the clearing is able to escape without being noticed. You can reveal a weakness or gain some respect from this person and his peers, this warlord, which may come into handy later. We shall see. But how are you going to goad him? This person is probably a good 2 feet taller than you.
Go for the kneecaps! Kick him in the dick!
She doesn't need to kick.
Yeah.
Halflings are dick punching height. We've established this.
This is true. Right, I amend! Punch him in the dick, my lady!
What kind of weapon does he have? Does he have one at all?
Say he has a sword with a jagged edge.
Nasty. Okay.
And he just looks very amused by this.
This smug bastard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can feint and fake him out.
Act like you're gonna do one attack and then do another.
Yeah, see if I can't get him to guard one direction and then hit him in a different direction.
Give me the 20.
That's a 13.
It works. Just what does this attack look like? Also, I think I might make a modification. Every round of a caravan will escape regardless of what you choose.
Okay.
But you can also have someone important escape, reveal a weakness, or earn some respect.
I'm going to feint like I'm going high, but then reverse and go low.
You start swinging high, and then when he goes to defend himself, you curve the sword down and slash across his legs.
Yes.
All right, how much damage does your sword do when you have the Holy Avenger? And when it's
Base sword does 2, and then the Fiery Avenger is +1.
okay, so that is 3 damage. Do you want to break something irreplaceable or leave a scar?
I want to leave a scar.
You catch him between like plates in the armor, and it slices deep. He just roars and staggers back. Sneaky little one, aren't you?
You said the magic words, little one.
He swings to attack you as well.
I'm trying.
So I'll let you have one roll to... Yeah, so give me a roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and block with the shield, I guess.
Yeah. Or just duck, depending on the roll.
Yeah. 13 again.
He swings and you raise up the shield and it just like glances off the top. It's almost like he's used to fighting slightly taller opponents.
Yeah, I can imagine. Me too, buddy. Question, was that one caravan or 2? Is it each of my turns or both of ours?
Each time you make it, then it comes around to your turn. So we have 2 caravans. I'll say we started with 12, so now we're down to 10.
Okay.
And do you want to reveal weakness or have someone important escape?
There are 3 people in the clearing with me.
You have hurt him pretty bad so far.
I know. I have. 1 person escapes.
Everyone is so focused on you. As you blocked and ducked, you saw out of the corner of your eye, one of the soldiers just gets yanked back into the darkness by someone. Probably one of the Fear Mom, and then the person that they were guarding is quickly whisked away as well. You see signs of what looks like a struggle going on. I'll say the pharmacist, the alchemist, the one that was injured when they tried to follow your signal, they have been successfully removed from the situation.
Okay.
So he moved to attack you, and what do you do?
I'm gonna see if I can't bash the bum leg I gave him with my shield.
Bring it down on his leg. Okay. Give me the roll.
No, does not work. That is a 2.
You bring the shield down to bash his leg, and he expected that. So he shifts his leg back and brings his sword down on you for 3 damage.
3 damage?
Yeah. Cuts into your shoulder a little bit. You can still use the arm, but that's gonna hurt. News is, another caravan got away. You can see the line just slowly going down.
So I'm gonna spend another AP to summon a magic shield, and so I also start glowing faintly green. I don't know why I decided green was the color for my magic, but I've decided that now.
Are we talking like, is it a lime green, or is it like a deeper forest green? Are you neon?
No. Like a nice green, like a deeper foresty green. Green reminiscent of the color of Foster's skin.
Aww, adorable. Love that. So, what does that shield do?
It blocks up to 3 damage. It lasts until it takes 3 or more damage in 1 hit. Which will probably be next hit, but it will block that hit for me, so.
Gotcha! It's helpful! Oh, so you are a holy person. You might get to survive this. It's assuming you have any information for me. And he goes to attack again. So, give me the roll.
14.
Swings and you're able to block again with the shield, but your shield arm is the one that took the damage, so it hurts. You don't take any extra damage, but you are able to block the attack. You gonna take a chance to attack back?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just let that be part of the successful roll.
Oh, okay.
And we are down to 8 caravans. So what is your attack going to be?
From where I blocked his attack, I'm going to reach out from under the shield and just kind of poke at him. Just a stab.
So you managed to get between the plates again and slice. Actually, do you want to leave another scar, or do you want to break something irreplaceable?
Let's break something.
This time as you go to attack, you actually manage to break some of the armor on his leg, and it falls off. Takes a couple steps back and it's like, oh. Sneaky. I haven't had this fun in a really long time.
Well, I'm glad one of us is having fun.
Do you want to reveal a weakness, or have someone else get away? You still have 2 people. I picture this as like you are creating a distraction, almost.
Someone else get away.
You see another 2 figures. One of them is a friend, the other one's a foe, getting yanked back into the woods. There's still one person, and the guards are just enjoying watching this fight. They aren't paying much attention to it. I don't seem to mind it very much. Do you want to launch another attack?
Well, it did. That's a 4.
You go to lunge forward again and you miss, and he brings the sword down and shatters the magical shield. But you're able to pull it back before he can do any damage directly to you. Looks like your little god might not be able to save you.
You're assuming too much.
You aren't the first holy person I've fought. And they all fell.
I'm gonna spend another AP. I'm going down to 6, and I'm gonna recast shield.
Okay. So the shield reignites and he just chuckles. And he goes to attack you. And he rolled a 19. So that shield shatters too. The last person was able to get out, yes. While people were watching this. And we are down to, I want to say 6 caravans. I haven't been tracking that like I should. It's fine. As this last shield shatters, he just laughs. Let's pan over to Foster. Give me another roll to see as you were trying to make your way up the mountain.
Let me do the thingy. Can I spend an AP to make it succeed? Or was it 2 AP?
What was the roll?
2. I will burn 4 if needed.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Cool.
I will say, when spending AP, that's not something that, like, refreshes every long rest.
I am willing to lean into what I have said, so I will spend the AP.
It's still going to take you time to cover this distance, but you will be able to, you're bumping that up to just a success. You can get across to the base of the next mountain without attracting any attention or running into anything. But you do spot that there are signs that there might be soldiers on this mountain, so moving forward might be difficult. Also, time is really wibbly with how we're doing this, because we're in story time, not in physics time. So you do hear the sound of soldiers. And back to Philomena. It's your turn to launch another attack. The magic shield has been shattered once again.
Go for an attack. Oh boy, the dice are telling a story. That's a 3.
What are you trying to do with this attack?
His taunting is really starting to get under my skin, so I'm getting a little bit upset. So I'm just trying to hurt him as much as I can.
So your attack is kind of wide and wild. He just sidesteps it. You feel his blade scratching across your back as you take another 3 points of damage. Oh, did I scare you?
No. You annoy me.
You know, you can still back down now. There's no shame in that.
But we both know it's not gonna happen.
Do you attack again?
No, I'm just gonna set in defensive position.
Then he'll attack you.
I try and block.
13 is just a success. Yeah, just roll 2, see if you can block.
5.
You raise your sword up and it hits and skims, but still slices across your arm. And you take another. Actually, how many hit points are you at right now?
4.
4. I'll say you take another 3 points and you might. Do you think you hold on to your sword after that, or?
Well, I did roll failure. I would like to, but...
Do you want to roll and see what the dice say?
20.
Okay, so you hold on to your sword, and Foster, can you give me a roll real quick?
Yes, they can give you a roll. The dice are telling a story, because 4.
You've gotten to a point where you can see, part of the mountain, but somehow you've gotten around to the part where it's more of like a sheer cliff face and not the part you can walk up.
Foster's gonna try and test her wings, just to see.
Give me another roll.
Okay.
I also realize this puts you very close to the river.
14?
It probably doesn't feel great, and you probably shouldn't be doing it.
I will willingly take, like, a damage or two for doing it.
Yeah, so you are able to fly. This will probably slow down the healing of the wound in your wing, but you are able to fly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing you were flying to see if you can get up to the top.
Oh, there is some swears in Orcish, but she is trying to book it as best she can.
Philomena, you can hear the faint sound of Foster swearing as she tries to get up to you. So as you hold on to your sword, you're barely standing, but you're stubborn. And you can see that they almost have everyone inside. You almost have everyone to safety where his armies can't get to them. And as he's standing gloating, you see a hint of something nestled in his armor. It's a symbol you don't recognize, but you get the feeling it's important, and you'll be able to remember that symbol. And he just stands and gloats. Are you ready to give up now? Or do I have to make an example of you? And Foster, you can hear bits of this conversation.
Hearing that, she probably hears the example and just screams, Philomena! And just tries to push faster, even though it hurts.
And what do you say, Philomena? Or do you say anything?
No, but I throw my shield at him.
Oh no.
Roll it.
Catastrophe.
You huck your shield at him, he just sidesteps. It basically frisbees off the cliff, and Foster, you see the shield as it starts to fall.
Oh no.
And he quickly steps forward and bats his sword out of your hand with one hand and picks you up with the other, Philomena. This has been entertaining, but I'm afraid I have more important things to get to. And he walks over to the edge. He sees Foster. She's trying to fly up.
No!
He just says, in a voice is far louder than it should be, "Behold your champion, Springhelm." And he drops her. And Philomena, you fall towards the river.
Dive bomb immediately to try and catch Philomena.
Give me the roll.
Oh god. 14.
I'm trying to think, because, like, you're dive bombing with an injured wing.
Yeah, and I am assuming he's seeing this and commanding an archer.
Yeah.
So I know it's probably not going to work. However, Foster does not care. That is her wife. She's gonna do whatever she can, panicking, arms outstretched, trying to catch Philomena.
You aren't able to get to her in time. She is too far away, and there are arrows flying towards you. But you are able to basically get to the ground without taking any more damage. And you know you're near the river, which is where she will be landing. But you also know there are soldiers everywhere. And probably not a lot of allies around. Except for your one orc friend who's nearby.
Screams, the wordless scream of frustration, and just starts booking it towards the river. Does not care if it attracts anybody.
Give me a d20.
13.
So as you start running, you're making a lot of noise. Which means you are attracting attention. You feel a hand wrap around your arm and turn back. It's not a soldier. It's one of the Philomena, and they're grabbed your arm and said, "We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. Live today, save tomorrow. We need to go."
But I need to find her. I can't leave her.
"You can't save her if you're dead. We need to go. Soldiers are near."
Fine.
And they pull you away to not the same cavern, but they are able to guide you through and get you to somewhere where you can hide out safely and take some time to figure out what you want to do next. And Philomena, what is going through your head as you fall?
I didn't get to check and see if the last caravan survived.
So you're just thinking about that. You hear Foster screaming in frustration. And just before you hit the water and lose consciousness, you hear a soft voice. "You're not alone." Then you impact and go unconscious. Thank you for listening to The Rise and Fall of Gods, and stay tuned to find out what happens next. If you don't want to wait, you can get early access to this and all of our other shows by supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. The Rise and Fall of Gods is a Quest actual play DM'd and produced by Brianna Jean, featuring Casey Glover, Fennec Foxfire. Rise and Fall of Gods is part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. If you enjoy our show, please leave us a review on your preferred podcasting platform and tell your friends about us. To find out more information about this and our other shows, check out our website at pseudonymsocial.com.